WWE superstars Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio made a surprise appearance on the latest episode of Friday Night SmackDown. The Women's World Champion shared her reaction on social media to a mischievous act her on-screen boyfriend pulled on the show. At the upcoming Crown Jewel PLE, Morgan vs. Nia Jax is scheduled for the Women's Crown Jewel title. Last night on SmackDown, the Irresistible Force addressed the crowd, asserting that she would defeat the Judgment Day member in Saudi Arabia. Jax also stated that her ally, Tiffany Stratton, was intelligent enough to realize that she should cash in the Money in the Bank contract on the Miracle Kid. Shortly afterward, Raw stars Raquel Rodriguez, Morgan, and Dirty Dom appeared on the Blue brand and warned Nia Jax. Later, a singles match between the WWE Women's Champion and Naomi unfolded. However, chaos broke out at ringside when the Glow took out the Buff Barbie and Raquel confiscated the 25-year-old's Mitt briefcase. Liv Morgan's distraction ultimately led to the real-life Bloodline members' victory over Jax. A fan shared footage on X Twitter of Dominik Mysterio kicking Tiffany Stratton's briefcase after the match, accusing him of being dirty. The Miracle Kid responded to the video. As mentioned earlier, the Irresistible Force and the Miracle Kid will collide in Saudi Arabia for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship on November 2nd, 2024. Meanwhile, wrestling veteran Jonathan Coachman shared his 2 cents on a possible scenario during the title match at the PLE. Speaking on the Behind the Turnbuckle, The Last Word podcast, the former WWE commentator expressed his concern about Nia Jax's rough style, adding that she could accidentally injure Liv Morgan during their upcoming match. Jonathan Coachman mentioned that many female wrestlers were hesitant to work with the Annihilator due to her aggressive in-ring demeanor. The WWE Universe has been buzzing with controversy ever since Dominik Mysterio made a shocking move on SmackDown. Once the innocent son of the legendary Rey Mysterio, Dominik has transformed into one of WWE's most hated villains, and his latest act on SmackDown only added fuel to the fire. The former babyface has fully embraced his role as a heel in the ruthless faction known as the Judgment Day, with his antics stirring up fan backlash week after week. However, the person who seems to be the most rattled by Dominik's actions isn't a fan. It's none other than former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan. In a series of social media posts and interviews, Liv made it clear that she isn't impressed by what she describes as Dominik's dirty behavior. As someone who has worked closely with Dominik in the past, Liv's disappointment is palpable, and her reaction is sending ripples throughout WWE. It all started on a fateful episode of SmackDown, where Dominik, accompanied by his partner in crime, Rhea Ripley, and the rest of the Judgment Day, disrupted a high-stakes match. Dominik's intrusion not only cost his opponent the match, but the devious tactics he used left the entire WWE Universe seething. WWE fans were already well acquainted with Dominik's heel turn, but this particular incident pushed boundaries in ways few anticipated. Just when the match's momentum had reached its peak, Dominik struck, using a low blow to incapacitate his opponent, leaving him sprawled across the ring in pain. The cheap shot was followed by Dominik's signature mocking grin as Rhea Ripley cheered him on from ringside. With the referee distracted, Dominik's dirty tactics went unnoticed, and the match concluded in chaos. While Dominik's behavior has earned him plenty of jeers from fans, Liv Morgan's reaction was one of personal disappointment. Her connection to Dominik goes back further than many realize, and it's clear that the Dominik she once knew has disappeared. As someone who has shared locker rooms with Dominik Mysterio, Liv Morgan has had a front-row seat to his transformation over the past year. Once a young talent full of promise, Dominik was seen as the next generation of Mysterio greatness, a torchbearer for his father's legacy. But that dream was shattered when Dominik turned his back on Rey Mysterio, joining the Judgment Day and embracing his darker impulses. In a candid post on her Instagram, Liv shared her thoughts on Dominik's actions on SmackDown, expressing a mix of disappointment, frustration, and confusion. "That's not the Dominik I knew," Liv wrote. "The guy who was always humble, respectful, and hungry to prove himself is gone. Now, all I see is someone who's lost, someone who's taken the easy way out by aligning with people who don't care about him, only about their own agendas." Her words struck a chord with fans, many of whom have watched Dominik's transformation with a sense of disbelief. Liv wasn't just criticizing Dominik's heel tactics. She was calling out the changes in his character, changes that seem to have taken him down a path from which there may be no return. Liv Morgan's connection to Dominik Mysterio is deeper than casual observers might realize. While the two were never on-screen allies or rivals, they both represent a newer generation of WWE superstars who have worked tirelessly to prove themselves in a world dominated by larger-than-life veterans. Liv, known for her gritty underdog persona, has fought tooth and nail to establish herself as a top player in WWE, and she's seen firsthand how hard Dominik worked to break out of his father's shadow. For Liv, Dominik's current persona is a betrayal not only of his father, but of the entire ethos of WWE, a place where hard work and perseverance are supposed to lead to success, not dirty tactics and underhanded alliances. Dominik's decision to join the Judgment Day, a faction notorious for bending the rules and reveling in chaos, seemed to represent the opposite of everything Liv stands for. To see him repeatedly cheat and manipulate to get ahead has only added to her frustration. In an interview with WWE backstage correspondent Megan Morant, Liv opened up further about her feelings. "I get that everyone has their journey, but this isn't the Dominik who wanted to make his family proud. He's doing the opposite now. It's sad to watch, especially knowing how much potential he had." While Liv Morgan's reaction to Dominik's antics is rooted in her personal disappointment, there's an interesting parallel between their two careers. Both Liv and Dominik have faced obstacles, but where Liv has chosen to grind her way to the top, earning fans' respect through resilience and determination, Dominik has taken a much different route. Liv, who captured her first WWE Championship by winning Money in the Bank and then defeating Ronda Rousey, represents the WWE underdog story in its purest form. She spent years on the sidelines, building her character, improving in the ring, and proving herself to WWE's brass and the fans alike. Now, she's a fan favorite, beloved for her authenticity and relentless pursuit of success. Dominik, on the other hand, has embraced shortcuts. His association with the Judgment Day has given him a fast track to success, but at the cost of his integrity and honor. While Liv continues to push forward as a beacon of hope for those who believe in hard work, Dominik's story has veered into the dark side, and Liv's reaction to his latest actions reflects her deep disappointment with the path he's chosen. As Dominik continues his descent into villainy, one has to wonder if WWE is setting the stage for an eventual confrontation between Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio. Though they occupy different divisions, WWE has never shied away from intergender storylines or interactions, especially when they are rooted in deep personal stakes. Liv's outspoken criticism of Dominik's behavior could very well be the seed for a future storyline where she seeks to humble the young Mysterio and remind him of what he once stood for. WWE fans are already speculating about the possibility of Liv stepping into the mix with the Judgment Day. Her history of standing up to bullies and villains, combined with her personal connection to Dominik, makes her a natural fit for a storyline where she could try to pull him back from the brink. Of course, whether Dominik would listen or if it's too late to save him remains to be seen.